Hello there and welcome to my studio and the beginning of a brand new series called We're Better Together. So what is this all about? Well, the lovely Louise Sims from Shady Designs within the umbrella of Dolly Dimples and myself have got together to do some crafting. Louise is an incredibly talented artist. She is amazing and her products are gorgeous and I love them. And she has a beautiful style, but it's so different to mine. I'm also providing products for the craft world, so we thought let's bring them together and see how we get on. So it's all about supporting each other's crafting journey, feeling free to bring everything into the mix. Also, I think it's quite good because Louise has such a different style to mine. It's maybe pushing me out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I think that's good. That sparks creativity and it puts you in a new direction, helps you discover something new, keeps things fresh. So it's a bit like there's that saying, isn't there, that creativity is contagious, pass it on, and that's what we want to do. So Louise and I are going to be starting to do this to try and get brands working together and providing you with lots of inspiration, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's get started. So I'm starting off with my Pink Pig journal and Distress Inks, Salvage Patina and Peacock Feathers. I'm just popping a little bit on my blending mat, getting that wet with the spray and just smooshing it onto my page. And this is just to create a little bit of a subtle background for us to work on. So I'm just drying that off and then I'll repeat that process 2 or 3 times until I get to the stage where I'm ready to work on it. So I am using the Gather Together stamp set, and that's the little stamp in the corner that I'm going to use. I will link all the stamp sets that are available in the description box below if you want to get them later. So I'm using my VersaFine Clear here because I am going to be using water-based mediums on top of this, and so I don't want the ink to move when we get to that stage. I am just sort of twisting and turning the stamp slightly as we go, so that there's a bit more interest to the page. So now I'm using my stamp set, Bubblicious, and that little circle stamp fits perfectly inside those circles that were drawn by Louise, which was just very fortuitous. So I've pulled out Distress Inks, Mustard Seed, Picked Raspberry and Salvage Patina, and I was just filling out those circles. Now for the main feature of the page, I'm using the Wings of Change stamp set. Again, that's another JMC Design one. And this time I've stamped it up in Memento ink. The reason being that I'm wanting to colour this with my alcohol markers. So I tend to colour by using at least 3 shades in everything that I do. I like to have a shadow, a mid-tone and a highlight. And I find that that helps to make your colouring overall a lot more realistic. And anything having shade and tone looks a lot better. So I'm just putting in the yellow here just as a contrast to the pink. Now I haven't used the right paper, I've just pulled some paper out of my scrap box, and so I am finding that I'm struggling a little bit. As you can see, I've just pointed out that mistake there. That is like the bleed going up between the alcohol markers because I'm not using the right paper. So as a result, I chose to use pink on the wings as well, just to blend that together so you didn't notice. I would normally recommend an Express It paper, that's the one that I quite like to use, or sometimes I would use a HP printer paper as well because that's been designed to take the ink. So I just stamped that out again onto the page, mostly because there's lots of fussy little elements to this image and it saved me having to cut them out. So then I could do simple cutting out and just get it on the page but not lose any of the detail. I've got my Inktense pencil here in the blue and I'm just doing some shadowing, so just sort of scribbling around the edges of it and pulling out that colour, and that's just to really help to draw the eye into the main feature of the page. Again, with the idea of drawing the eye in, I'm just putting a little bit of colour in either corner as well. So I'm just going to finish this page off now with a doodly border, and that's us, apart from the splashes that are always required. So I've gone for gold this time. These are my Kuretake Gansei Tambi paints, and we're just going to pop those on the page. I've just sort of protected the main image there with some very purple scrap paper, And there we go, that is the page all finished. So I do love that, but it's not my normal style. It was good to be pushed outside my comfort zone, but as you can see from this little flip through, I tend to use characters quite a lot. If you are interested in seeing more pages from this journal, I will be doing a flip through very soon, so you may want to like and subscribe so that you can see that at a future date. So I thought, can we use Louise's stamps again, but sort of stick to my more traditional style of crafting? So I have pulled out this stamp set. Again, it has lots of fabulous circles, and I'm just stamping 5 of them into, this is another Pink Pig journal actually, but this is the 11 by 11 size. Now what I love about these stamps is there's so many ways to connect them and to pattern build and to make it your own. So I'm using all the tiny little elements to make these circle dangles. And this is to create a background for our Valentina just there. She is a free digi, so if you're interested in having her, again, that will be linked below and you can pick her up and colour in for yourself. So I am wanting to create some foliage now. So again, I've pulled out Louise's stamp and I am just going to create myself a page of black and white images ready to colour out. Then we colour them all and fussy cut them, and that means we have lots of embellishments ready to go. So now I'm just arranging these embellishments. So I'm sort of thinking Spanish dancer on a stage, that's what I'm thinking. And this would be sort of the background or the backdrop to that stage. So I'm just wanting some floral elements to sort of add a little bit of drama to the overall look of this page. So, and then I'm just going to stick that down and we'll be ready for the next stage. I have pulled out my mustard seed distress ink because what I want to do is spotlight her. So it's like the light is on her as she has given her performance on stage. The other thing is when I do fussy cutting, I do tend to cut with a white border. I like the look of that, but sometimes I don't want that. Sometimes I want the image to look like it is part of the page and blended in, and that is the case this time. So to easily rectify that, I've just put a little bit of ink around the edge, and as you can see there, it just blends in completely and you can't tell that the white edge was ever there. So we'll just stick her down onto her stage. And now she's grounded. So again, I am pulling out the Inktense pencils and just taking that across the floor so that she has something to stand on. Now, I did leave a bit of an inky mark when I was doing some stamping. So I've pulled out a few more of those flowers that were left over and we've created a little arrangement in the corner just to cover that up. And those are the 2 pages that I've completed today. I just want to show you a few other pages. I genuinely love Louise's stamps, and here's some of the other pages that I've created. So please do pop over and check out her video because she's an incredibly talented artist. And if you would like some more ideas on how to use the Wings of Change stamp set, you may enjoy watching this video here.